The OpenAI guys are saying a lot of stuff about agents, about where we're going, how 2027 is the year when AI takes over the physical world, how 2026 is the year of the agent. We're going to be talking about both the chair of OpenAI and then Santa, the boy. So I agree with most of the stuff and disagree with some of the stuff.
Will be
So in this talk, I'm not even going to let him talk. I'm just going to talk about the talk. And it'll be a short video, but you should just go watch it and make your own opinions. If you don't, the TLDR of this one is they are stripifying the AI stack. And I talked to a founder, seed stage AI founder in San Francisco, and it was funny to hear because they didn't recognize that we are in the same space where it's 2015 payments. And I'm old, so I did payments then. And we were between using a bunch of different payment styles. So it was like, oh, we have ACH for some of the restaurants. Oh, we have credit card for some of the restaurants. We have card on file, which was like slightly different. So it could be like at the end of the month they swipe or every week they swipe. We had all these different terms. We had cash payments from customers. We had our dev team wanted to build Bitcoin. We didn't do that. But the point is, it was very fractured. And then Stripe came along. They dropped payments. We went from using Braintree because Braintree merged with Stripe. And we went from them to Stripe. Stripe was then just payments. But then we still had to figure out all this stuff around it. And so payments were still really fractured, meaning if you wanted to run reports, they didn't have Sigma, which is their reporting stuff. They didn't have Radar for fraudulent stuff. So you had to go pick up another tool and figure that part out. You had to do all these things in order to like cobble it together. And then that left side of the Stripe UI started getting built out. So what started as just dev dash payments from the Collison brothers quickly became the whole ecosystem. So OpenAI is really pushing on that button, which is like, they want to be like the home for all of it. I think that they're missing the boat a little bit in terms of how powerful Google is. Google has the whole stack. They don't have consumer side. They're pushing on that. But I'm going all in on Python and the Google stack because I've just used it. I've used the OpenAI SDK since the day that it came out. Like that was a little while ago, but they've made a lot of progress. I just think that models are getting commoditized, that they don't recognize, like I said, that Google just has everything. And as a builder, knowing that Google's putting 70 or 90 billion of spend into AI infrastructure is just something that nobody else can do. Like you don't see the CEO or the board of Alphabet going to Saudi to cut deals and raise money. Elon doing that, Sam doing that. Of course, Jensen from NVIDIA's there because he's the king of the chips. Google doesn't have to go because they have an ad business that is absolutely smashing, and they can then fund all the infrastructure, which people don't think about, for deploying. Like you can go in and they don't have the web UI set up for this. So you have to actually learn how to code and code this stuff for agents. But their agent setup is amazing. And you can do a whole lot of stuff. It's very easy to understand. And beyond that, just the vast amount of things, of options that are in there. Like I should totally be a Google rep. Shout out Google, because it is fantastic. And let's just look at it. So we have buckets. This is infinite storage. You can mount one of these to your computer if you would so please, but it'd be like $23,000 a month if you actually filled up the full petabyte or 2 petabytes, but you can do self-cleaning stuff. So I treat this as like temp storage once videos are processed. But you have buckets and then you have all these other things. So this is the stripification of AI that's happening right here. This one's going to win. It's just going to happen. And why? Because Google has the TPUs, they have the science, they have the money, and they also just have the internet. Like they've trained so much information since 2005 that it's just bananas. And when you want to go and do something, you jump into Vertex AI and it's okay, cool. Like here's everything from OpenAI, but more. I think the only bit that's missing from this right now, which they're actively working on, they might announce at I/O this week, is the pieces around like guardrails and like a web UI where you can see the traces. So if I launched an agent, and I hate to say it, I'm just going to use it because it's easy, but the travel agent, because everybody uses it as the example, you can see like where decisions were made in an agent flow. For clarity, an agentic workflow means that you have, let's call it 7 steps or 7 nodes in a row. You can go back to another video. I'm building like AI SDLC, which is a software development lifecycle, which is a CLI that like chains together all those things. Those steps in both the software development lifecycle or being a travel agent can be agentic meaning that each step has a stopgap for you to see what's going on. But then like full agent is it's autonomous because you have the information and you're giving it the ability to go and do its thing. There's still issues with multi-turn, so the quality of its decisions goes down drastically if you have like multi-turn going on or if there's a lot of revisions. But I think as soon as Google adds this, then it's game over. And they just start cranking. They have Veo 2, the new image model that's coming out. The existing image or video model is already better than OpenAI's. Gemini 2.5 is flying. If anyone doesn't know how to use it, learn how to use it. I think the only people that think it's not good are those that are like Cursor stands that don't understand that Cursor has not figured out how to work with it. But things like that, things like Vertex AI search, vector search, where I can take, I want to learn more about software development lifecycle. So I'm going to just feed it all these PDFs, feed it all these websites. Like PDF isn't that fancy, that's just RAG, but I can feed it a whole website and be like, I want to take every Wikipedia page that mentions the software development lifecycle and throw it on there. It's bananas. So what Sam goes into in this talk is more about like the future of their stripification strategy, going into how they want to be the core AI subscription. He's like very vague. He's been trained from his PR agency about like, whenever you're asked a question about something that could be proprietary, just answer with better models. That's great. He also says that next year is going to be the year of the agent. On the other side of the coin, we have Brett. So Brett is started his own company, and the thesis is that every company is going to have one agent. Forget the website. It used to be about websites. Now it's one agent. That's funny because he's a really good salesman. He's a really good marketer, and he's a really good engineer, which is rare. He was CTO of Facebook at like age 27. And so he knows how to do all these things. He's multidisciplinary, which is a whole video in itself. I think that being multidisciplinary is required now to be 10x because you can learn anything. But Brett goes into the fact that you need to have an agent. Most of the things that they're selling is customer service. So if you go like every single customer success story on there, whether it's Sonos or Klaviyo, will be about how their CSAT or customer service score essentially went up by using a product like Sierra. But the gist of this talk is basically, agent, this is the year, it's going to be awesome. For B2B, it does make sense. Like his product's probably awesome. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it's also interesting to see how he can blend the marketing with the technical, because on the marketing side, like no one wants to hear multi-agentic workflow with HITL or all that stuff. It's just like super jargony. So he's able to portray it and display it and speak to it like it's just this one agent. And then that makes it a lot easier for their sales. So in total, like in summary, just want to encourage you to go watch these videos and come up with your own opinions, but then also be open to trying different tools. I still use OpenAI. I just don't use any of this stuff for development. And then I use like obviously their web browser interface is awesome. They just added in the ability to run Python in it, but it doesn't do package management very well. But that's besides the point. Go check out the talks. If you learned anything in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, because it's like the thumb thing. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you should try it out. When you click it, it looks crazy. And then if you want to join our community, it's awesome. We've got people in there, I don't know, maybe 1,000 times smarter than me. So I'm the guy that yaps on the internet. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.